It's no secret that I struggled as a sole practitioner in architecture. I had nobody to bounce ideas off. Making business decisions was hard, and at times I felt incredibly lonely. What I didn't realise at the time was that building a business should really be a team sport. Even if you're a freelancer or sole director of your own micro-sized practice. If you've ever felt the way that I did, the good news is that all of those problems can be fixed. You just need to surround yourself with the right people to support you, which is where the Architecture Business Club community comes in. I'll reveal more about how it can help you in this episode of Architecture Business Club, a weekly podcast for small firm founders who want to build their dream business in architecture and enjoy more freedom, flexibility and fulfillment in what they do. I'm John Clayton, your host. I know that building an architecture business can feel hard, especially if you're a sole practitioner. The good news is that you don't have to do it alone. Last year, we launched our membership community to a small group of founding members, including architects, architectural technologists, and interior designers. We meet online each week and occasionally in person to support each other in building our businesses and to have some fun along the way. On the 1st of March 2025, we are opening the doors to a limited number of new members. If you'd like to join this supportive group of like-minded professionals, now's your chance. Just go to architecturebusinessclub.com/waitlist or click the link in the show notes and enter your details so we can let you know when and how to join this incredible group. And if you've got any questions, just email John, that's Jon, at architecturebusinessclub.com. Let's find out how being part of a community can help you and your business. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking about communities, specifically the Architecture Business Club community, but we're going to start by looking at communities in general. I mean, we all know what a community is, but you may have heard or been part of an online community. Now, the Cambridge Dictionary says that a community is people living in one particular area or people who are considered as a unit because of common interests, social group, or nationality. It's much the same for an online community. Usually, rather than it being people living in the same place, it's usually people that have got a shared interest. Sometimes people online will talk about their community that they're growing, but what they actually mean is their audience. There is a difference between an online community and an online audience. Key difference is if you are part of an audience, you usually would only have access to the content creator or the person that is building that audience. If you're part of a community, you also have access to the other members too. So, as a listener to this podcast, you are part of my audience, but you may not yet be part of my community, and that is a key difference between the two. Why would you join a community? Well, communities can give you a sense of belonging, support. They provide opportunities to learn and to grow, and give you access to a network of like-minded people, or the chance to contribute to a shared cause or mission. And they can definitely improve your mental well-being and fulfillment through building some meaningful relationships. So what is the Architecture Business Club community? You might have heard me mention this a few times in previous episodes over the last few months. At the moment, we have a group of small business owners who are working in and around the world of architecture. So this is people like architects, architectural technologists, interior designers, planning consultants, structural engineers, that are coming together to share knowledge, to support each other and build their businesses together. Our aim is to help you build your dream architecture business and enjoy more freedom, flexibility and fulfillment in what you do. And I believe being part of a community is a big part of doing that. That I mentioned in the intro that building a business It's really a team sport. So even as a freelancer, sole practitioner, or solopreneur, whatever you prefer to call yourself, this really is something that you should be looking to do with other people. So what problems does the Architecture Business Club community solve? Well, there's a few different things that this can solve for you. So one of those problems is just not finding space and time to work on your business. This gives you a slot in your calendar where you work on your business, which I think is very important. The problem is not having a sounding board to talk through your ideas or to make business decisions. This can be really difficult when you're working on your own. So this is a really valuable thing about being part of a community. Another problem is perhaps if you have a lack of experience or knowledge in a particular area, or maybe a lack of experience or knowledge on how other practices and practitioners operate. It can be really useful to find out and learn how other businesses do things. There can be things that you can then apply in your own business. And one of the big problems, I think, is loneliness and social isolation, that it can feel like a really lonely journey when you are building a business on your own, or you're simply working alone most of the time, or working from home. Being your own boss, that can feel quite lonely doing all of that on your own, and you really don't have to. So why should you join the Architecture Business Club community? Well, it's an opportunity for you to make new connections with other people like you, to give you some prioritized time each week to work on your business, and to feel supported in what you do, to also gain access to resources and trainings to help improve your business, and also to be part of something bigger, a community of people like you, all working towards a shared goal of having an enjoyable, successful business in architecture built on your terms. But don't just take my word for it. Here's what some of our founding members have had to say about their experience of this exciting new community. Here's Joe Wright of Joe Wright Architects sharing his experience of Architecture Business Club's community group.
Part of the reason that I've joined the group was I was looking at business development, I was looking at marketing. We have been and are relatively quiet work-wise, and I was just getting very anxious about it, and the kind of ups and downs of the just general, the economy, that we're so affected by that. That was the kind of the motivation. But the contrast, I think, to now, or the end of last year, even though the work trailed off a bit, is that I feel much more empowered. I felt that I needed something to help me focus. The idea of being able to bounce things off. So in a way, having your inputs of the guided, more CPD-like things have been really good. But then to be able to kind of bounce ideas off and see what others are doing, it helps you, one, reflect back and think about what you're doing, but also obviously you can kind of you can get support from others as well. So I found it really, really valuable having a group of people you're kind of answerable. I've got a plan for what I want to do, and that feels really empowering. I think in terms of my kind of feeling about the business is a lot more positive than it was. Feeling pretty jaded about it all. Now I'm kind of just a lot more excited about the business and the possibilities, and I feel as though I'm kind of more in control of it. I think it's been really, really good.
Here's Liz Murrell from Zing Interior Architecture talking through some of the benefits she's experienced since joining our membership community.
And just struggling generally with business. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just need to make it work financially. And I just feel like I've got this little helping hands with the group. And I think what's good about it is the fact that we don't all live together near each other. So there's not that competition, because then I'm a little bit more open. When you suggested the group, I thought, yeah, that's what I need, because I just feel quite lonely, like in my business. It has really helped me. And I would brave about it. Meeting you and the others, and I came away buzzing because I just felt like, oh, there's other people like me, and it just gave me a bit of a boost, swapping ideas like from them to me and what they do. And I think the most beneficial thing is just having the chats with everyone, just knowing that there's other people like me out there. It's a support network. I just think it's really beneficial, especially if you're working for yourself. Two heads are better than one, basically. You can just get ideas from other people. Socially, it's good. It's good for your mental health to talk to other people who are like-minded. And especially if you work alone at home like I do. Yeah, beneficial. I've learnt a lot. And also things that we've talked about, like the Building Safety Act. You know, I didn't really know much about that. And when people mention these things, I'll then go and research a bit more, and things like that are really helpful because that's something that I can get from this group as well.
Here's Vlad Borislavov from Monochromo Design Studio explaining what he's got out of Architecture Business Club's community so far.
On our initial meeting before we started, I was struggling quite a lot. My main thing was connection, the social networking, and I was looking for something like this for a while, but most of the services that I found, they were more like wanted to sell me things. But with our sessions, it's quite different because there is still social element. So I'm really satisfied with this aspect, that the networking stuff, and meeting some people in person was even better for me. Now I feel more like that I have a community. I'm part of a community in terms of work, and hear other people's opinion, what they struggled and how they find the solution, like real world examples. So that was really helpful. Your kind of a contribution, it's quite big to the group because you have lots of experience and give us some direction. I can consider you like mentoring us. I think that can kind of contribute to your growth, like personal, and because this is not only work, but personal growth. The other thing is that not only the sessions, but the chat, this is a valuable thing as well, because during the week you can simply just put their question or some thoughts, and other people, if they have the time, they can answer and help you, which is again brings to the feeling of the community, and also is like you have somebody all the time on your side that I think you can rely on. So it's kind of a sense of security. That's another benefit.
So I've talked a little bit about what this community is, what some of the benefits are, and you've heard a little bit from some of those founding members. But what is it that you get? What is actually included? So currently we're running a weekly session that's held on Zoom. The sessions are varied throughout each month. To date, we've had sessions on business planning, networking, group discussions, and reviews and audits of members' websites. And we've also looked at their sales processes. And we shall be introducing more training sessions with guest experts, along with a number of other improvements based on member feedback. You also get access to a chat group. This is currently hosted on WhatsApp to stay connected with all of the other members, to continue the conversation after group sessions, to ask questions, to get feedback on your own ideas, or support when maybe you're feeling a bit stuck. And once we outgrow that platform, we'll be moving it to another more appropriate chat forum. You get access to a member directory, so you can connect directly with other members with shared interests to help each other out, to collaborate on projects, or just to talk through something with someone that's at a similar stage of business to you. You could use it to connect with other members that use the same software. Maybe you both use Vectorworks or ArchiCAD, or to find a member to fill a skills gap in your own practice. We also have a shared resources library. We've set up a shared drive online for members to share resources with each other. And this is also the place where you can access any resources that we create for you throughout your time in this membership. And there's more. You also get access to meeting recordings and summaries. So if you can't make one of our weekly group sessions, no problem. Those sessions are recorded and they are stored in the cloud. So just like on BBC iPlayer, you can catch up on what you've missed at any time. This has also proved really useful following training sessions and deep dives where we've covered so much in the hour that the sessions just really warrant a rewatch later. And last but not least, in-person meetups. This is something I think that moving forward, I think this is going to be really important, because whilst online communities are great, and this is primarily an online community, we don't want to keep this online. We want this to be in person as well, to have the opportunity for members to meet in person. We had our first in-person meetup during London Build 2024, where we met at a nearby pub. We went and had some food, we had a few drinks and a few laughs, and it was an absolute blast. Like myself and the other members, we had a really good evening. It was really cool. We plan to run more meetups like that at least a few times each year at different locations around the UK. Our next meetup, in-person meetup, is likely to be during Future Build 2025 in London, and I'll share more details about that once it's been finalised. And also, if there's enough demand, we may run a one-day event later in the year. So maybe by now you're thinking, this sounds intriguing. Yeah, this sounds good. I'd like to be part of this. Probably the next question is, how much does it cost? Let me just say, it doesn't cost as much as you might think. We've intentionally kept the prices low so that this community is accessible for most business owners and freelancers. But why join now? What's so important about joining this community right now? Well, as a new community, we currently have fewer members. So for now at least, you get more access to me. And as an early member, you also get the chance to shape what this community becomes so it best serves the needs of you and of the other members. And we'll also be running an in-person evening social in London during the first week of March 2025, so you can meet both me and your fellow members in person just days after joining to get this off to a really great start. So if you'd like to be part of this and apply to join, we'll be opening the doors to a maximum of 10 new members on the 1st of March 2025. Once those seats are filled, the doors will be closed again until further notice. You might be wondering why we're doing this. And there's a genuine reason. The reason is that it gives us time to then properly onboard and settle in new members, to give them a really great experience before bringing in more members. So that is what we're going to do. It's going to be open for a short period of time. Once we've got 10 members in, those doors will close. You won't be able to join the community until such time that those members are settled in. So to make sure that you have a chance of securing one of those 10 seats, just go to architecturebusinessclub.com/waitlist, or click the link in the show notes and enter your details. And if we think that you're a good fit, I'll reach out to you personally during the next few weeks to arrange a quick chat with you where I'll answer any questions that you have and provide more information about how to join. So if you haven't already done so, join the waitlist so you don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. Next time, I chat with Beatrice Ronchetti about how to stand out on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Architecture Business Club. If you liked this episode, think other people might enjoy it, or just want to show your support for the show, then please leave a glowing 5-star review or rating wherever you listen to podcasts. It would mean so much to me and makes it easier for new listeners to discover the show. And if you haven't already done so, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode. If you want to connect with me, you can do that on most social media platforms. Just search for @Mr. John Clayton. The best place to connect with me online, though, is on LinkedIn. You can find a link to my profile in the show notes. Remember, running your architecture business doesn't have to be hard, and you don't need to do it alone. This is Architecture Business Club.